Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 4/4/2024 Mother Mary monthly message. My name is Samara Grace Daniels, and I'm here to bring you the wisdom and love and outrageous ideas that Mother Mary seems to bring each and every month for all of us to consider. So it's a strange and wonderful time that we're in. We're awaiting the eclipse on the 8th, and who knows what that means, but at any rate, it's a fun and unusual time to be present. When I channel Mother Mary, my voice changes a little bit, and she brings forth wisdom that I've got no idea about. So you may notice that. And if you ever have a chance and you'd like to check out my website, it's www.samaragrace.com. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoy the video. I would love it if you would like it and share it, because that's how we can grow our audience and our group. So just take a moment, center into your heart, and get ready for some wonderful, loving, and yummy advice. Well, that was quite an introduction. I don't know if I can live up to all of that, but hello, everyone, and welcome to a moment in time when I think it's going to be one that you look back on and remember, oh my goodness, 4/4, what was I doing on 4/4 of 2024? Hopefully, you are considering the fact that you are now not only a human being on a journey, but you're also a spiritual being having a human experience. And the reason that I bring that up, and most of you have already read that and sort of know that on the one hand, but you haven't fully allowed the power of that to sort of envelop you and hopefully inform some of the decisions that you're going to make. So what do I mean? First of all, if you are living a life that you're happy with, congratulations. I'm so, so proud of you and happy for you. If you're already living a life that is happy for you, I just invite you to expand the boundaries of that a little bit and share your light and your love even more than you're doing in this moment. Because your light and love is what, of course, allows other people to feel brighter. But tonight, I'd also like to talk about if you're not living a happy life right now. Because so many people right now seem to be worried, seem to be concerned, seem to have this sense of almost dread about what's next, because there's so much uncertainty. And so if that's what you're feeling, don't ignore it, but recognize uncertainty comes from believing that something might happen before it has happened. And so you're borrowing the future and making that sort of a burden in the present. And when you borrow from the future and put it into the present, now you are no longer present in the moment. You're already sort of worrying about this or worrying about that. And so what happens then is in the body and the heart and the mind, all that worry and distress starts to ricochet around and cause physical problems, sometimes mental problems, sometimes heart problems. And we don't want that for any of you. So if you're not happy in your life right now, decide, what do I need to change? What do I need to change? What do I need to change? And don't say, oh, this one and this one and this one and my job and my husband and my no, 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 no. Right here, what do I need to change in order to feel happy in my life? What do I need to change? And most often, it is to come back into the present moment and realize you're either borrowing the troubles of the future that haven't even occurred, or dwelling on the past and what bothered you or concerned you or betrayed you or whatever in the past. You're not present. Because when you're in the present, in the moment, here, now, You can always choose to be happy. You can choose to connect with the light and love that's here for you. You just do that. You play a beautiful musical song on the radio or the internet or wherever you're listening. You walk out in nature and look at a tree or a bird or whatever, and you connect with the intimacy out there of what's been created for you on this earth. And if you take that word intimacy, into me see, into me see. And when you do that, one of the possibilities is that when you're looking at the bird or the ocean or whatever you're doing, and you're feeling that intimacy, the veils of worry and doubt and concern and fear sort of get washed away as that nature or that song or whatever you're choosing becomes one with you. Into me see, the intimacy of that. Because no other person is responsible for your happiness. No other person. Now, certainly some make you smile and you enjoy and all that. I'm not saying that, but they're not responsible for your happiness. You are in charge of that. And if you are not living a life in which you are happy, you must change something, or perhaps a number of things. But you do that by stripping away whatever you're borrowing from the future that hasn't happened yet, or whatever you're dwelling on from the past that's already gone. You're not here. Our beautiful Ram Dass wrote a crazy book years ago called Be Here Now, which took everyone by storm, right? Well, what does that mean? Be here now. It means be here now. Be in your body, be in your heart, be in your place in the world. And find the beauty, find the peace, find the love that is here, all around you. It's here. Because when you're focusing on something else, when you're focusing on the past or the future, it's like you're depriving yourself of oxygen. You're depriving yourself of whatever would nurture you. You're not allowing yourself to have mana, what is here for you, the food and the beauty and the children and all of that. Why do I care if people are happy or not? Your joy is an emanation, right? And your lack of joy is also an emanation. And that lack of joy that is emanating from so many people right now, it's like a field of distress, like a minefield you have to walk through wherever you're going in the world. And so maintaining your own light and your own brightness, of course, is huge and so important and vital. And that's why by realizing my happiness is job one, it's job one, more important than the dishes or the laundry or, whatever else you have going on. And if you're not happy, it's because you're not living your own light. You're not. You're pacing back and forth in this little forehead, worrying about something or dwelling on something that happened and perhaps didn't happen. So in this time that we're in right now, being a light worker, what does that mean? It means that you're working on your own light, that it be bright, that it shine forth, that it be a beacon for yourself and for everyone else. And then you're happy because you're here now in the present moment. And from that, everything else starts to line up. Whatever you were worried about, it isn't here. It isn't here. If you think about what do the masters know, all these wonderful masters that can elevate and do teleport and do all these kinds of things, what is it they're doing that perhaps you're not doing. They are focused on allowing their spirituality to dominate their humanity. They're not letting their humanity run the show. And your spirituality is simply your own connection to God, however you like to call that. And how do you maintain that? Well, obviously, what I've already just said about nature and music and all that are important. But it's to guard your mind from that human story of, oh my goodness, this could happen or that could happen, or why did so-and-so do this or not do that? To become sovereign and to really allow your light is the highest and best use of your energy. To become a sovereign light, meaning that you know you're in charge of your light. It's up to you to shine your light, and no one else is responsible for whatever you're choosing to do to dim it. It's really, unfortunately, it's quite that simple. So why do I say all this? When you're happy, all of the spheres and energies in your body are elevated. Your immune system is strengthened. The likelihood of you having any sort of physical ailment is minimized. I wish I could say evaporated, but minimized. And so all of that is sort of another reminder, if I'm taking care of myself by loving myself and being happy, I'm going to be strong and resilient and not fall ill. If I'm not, then what I'm doing is I'm literally diminishing my immune system. I'm literally diminishing my own capacity to heal quickly. I'm diminishing my aliveness. And I'm sort of begging you tonight to not do that, Be vital, be happy, be joyous for your sake, yes, but also for the sake of everyone else. There's a lot of people that I want to reach, and I wish I reached more of them. But what I always feel is each of you can reach another 10, 20, 30, 50, 500, I don't know, 1,000, whatever. So that's why I come as often as I do, to just remind you that it's not selfish to be happy. It's a gift to God. And it's a gift to humanity. It really is. And so do what makes you happy. Eat what makes you happy. Drink what makes you happy. Walk where it makes you happy. Swim if it makes you happy. Dance if it makes you happy. But more than anything, realize when you let your spirit guide you, your own higher self, your intuition, your feelings, into what is right for me, what is loving for me. Again, it's not selfish, because being loving within yourself means you have more to give, more to offer, more to do. And there are many people right now who are suffering from physical difficulties and ailments, and I wish they weren't. But what I'm telling you is it's a process of diminishing your light that allows the darkness to enter. I'm going to say that again. It's a process of diminishing your light that allows the darkness to enter. So turn up that rheostat, Don't put the dimmer switch on, turn it up. And from that, your health and well-being expand. From that, all sorts of abundance manifest, because it's in that field of all possibility. So don't worry about money. Don't worry about this or that. Do what makes you happy. It is not selfish. It is not selfish. It's really honoring the gift of life. So what about this eclipse? Everyone's all got their, what do they say? Panties in a bunch. For millennia, the stars and the moon and the sun have done their thing. It's really not all that new. It's just what happens, you know. And mankind always wants to sort of find meaning in all of this. And so it's good to look for meaning, you know, but it's sort of like in the old days, they would look up and say, oh, it's just this star is this, or this is that, or whatever. So why is it important? First of all, it's interesting that thousands and thousands of people are traveling to see this eclipse. Now, I like that because to me, what that says is, oh my goodness, there's something outside in nature that's worth getting up off my sofa and putting down the remote and doing something. That's beautiful. They're going to stare up at the sky for a little bit anyway and watch something extraordinary. But what I'm hoping beyond hope is that what they recognize is how beautiful the universe is. How beautiful, how extraordinary the sun and the moon and the stars and all of it are. And that they take that into themselves and say, I'm a part of that too. I'm a star come to earth. For you are all my little stars come to earth. And so the eclipse will be whatever it is. It will bring in whatever you choose for it to bring in. It has no special power. You have the power. That's the message I keep bringing month after month to you. You have the power. You have the power. The power of your mind, the power of your heart, the power to love, the power to create. You have the power. So my wish for all of you is to let go of the bondage of believing that anyone else can or can't make you happy. To let go of the bondage of thinking that things have to be a certain way. I think all of you have witnessed enough in life to see things change all the time. Things can change in a moment. And so what's the very best thing you can do? And Samara has told this story a few times with Ram Dass. It was sort of funny. I'll take you back to that time. So it was Y2K, you know, it was going to become from 1999 to 2000. And supposedly all the clocks were going to go crazy and the computers were going to fail and the banks were going to go broke and, you know, all these crazy things were happening. So someone said to Ram Dass, what do you think? What do you think? What's going to happen? And Ram Dass said, well, I've thought a lot about it. And I thought, well, what's the very best thing I can do if it's going to happen? I'm going to open my heart and offer love. And what's the very best thing I can do if it doesn't happen? I'm going to open my heart and offer love. So I bring that story back tonight for all of you to think about the eclipse. What's the very best thing you can do? Open your heart and offer love. And not get all mixed up with what does it mean? You know, what does it mean? It means whatever you want it to mean. And how does your life have meaning? It has meaning from your presence and your creations and your kindness and your compassion and your love. That's it. That's it. When you come home to me, you know, some years from now, you look back at your life. And it's really, you know, people talk about the life review with a little bit of dread, you know. No, you look back and you'll look at all the smiles that you created, all the people that you touched, all the love that you gave and that was given to you, like a beautiful trail of stars. And you'll say, all right, that was good. That was good. It won't matter how big your house was. It won't matter what kind of car you drove. It won't matter what's in your bank account specifically. We don't have bank accounts up here. We have grace accounts. And so build that grace account in your life. You can't beat it. You can't beat it because that multiplies like compound interest. Your grace account is really what's important. And so I like to talk for about half an hour, and we're almost there, not quite. So here's sort of the synopsis, yes, the conclusion. This life is all about remembering you're a spiritual being having a human experience. And that when you begin to really allow your spirituality, your connection with God, to dominate and help you make the choices that are right for you, everything starts to get smoother and smoother and smoother. Not only that, you have a great time. Because in this world, in this life now, spirituality is not about sacrifice. And I think there's a little bit of a cellular memory that in past lives, spiritualities often included a bit of suffering. And in this life, that isn't true. It isn't true. Even though humanity imposes hardship on people, and they do suffer sometimes from that, your spirituality is not making you suffer. It is humanity's misunderstandings that creates the suffering. And so to judge things from humanity's mind won't bring you peace. It won't bring you peace. Why do people do terrible things? You can stay up all night worrying about that. Instead, focus on your spirituality, your love, your compassion, your kindness, and most of all, your happiness and joy. Because now you are steadfast in that. You are sovereign in that. You are a warrior of the light, I guess you would say. Not a warrior with guns and swords and all of that, but with these kind of arms. Take these kind of arms against that sea of troubles. That's my wish for all of you. And as you go forth and you're with other people that are going through difficulties or pain or suffering, just love them. Just love them. And don't tell them it's karma. Don't tell them they created it because their spirituality wasn't strong enough. Please don't tell them that. Help them strengthen their spirituality by loving them. Because everyone's doing the best they can with what they know and what they believe. So how do we change that? We have to help them know something more so they can believe something different, right? So that's my wish for all of you. So whatever you do on the eclipse, drink your beverage of choice, make yourself a beautiful dinner, look at the stars and say, thank you for this beautiful universe. And meanwhile, be happy. But what is that song? Don't worry, be happy, right? Don't worry, be happy. So I love you all. I love you all. Let's just take a moment. I know Samara often does this after I'm off the call, but I want to do it with you tonight. Let's send our lovely Reiki or energy, if you don't do Reiki, to all beings everywhere. May you know what a light you are. May you shine your light brightly. May you feel our love lifting you out of any challenge you're facing. May you be reminded of your own power to choose a life that is honoring and worthy of you. And I love that Sikh prayer, may the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. and the beautiful light within you guide your way on. And to each and every one of you that were kind enough to join, either tonight or later on, a special blessing for your devotion and your love and your willingness to show up as the lights that each of you are. I love you all. Love you all. Love you all. Namaste. Well, this is Samara, and I'm back, and I'm going to end the video for tonight. And anyone who wants to stay on, we can keep chatting. But my wish for all of us is the same. Be happy, be joyous, and keep sharing your love.